Hey everybody, I've gotten some questions of how I do video editing. So I thought it'd be neat to let you get a chance to basically literally look over my shoulder. So I want to apologize ahead of time if sometimes it looks kind of like I'm almost not sure what I'm doing because I recorded the video and didn't actually record the audio, so I'm just kind of narrating now over my own actions, trying to remember what I did. So starting off though, you'll notice if you use DaVinci Resolve, this is what this is going to be about. You see that there's a couple different tabs. Like this is the media tab where you pop in media you want to use. And then there's the cut tab and the edit tab. What's neat is they actually lay it out so it can be a workflow for you. You know, you edit, then use Fusion to do cool stuff with it. You might change the colorization, the music, and then you produce it, right? So here in the edit area is where I do most of my living when I am moving stuff around. Watch, like, you can drag and move things around. This blade tool is how you cut stuff. Hint, if you press B, it goes to the blade tool. If you press A, it goes to the select tool, something I do constantly. Okay, so here is an example of making a video. This is the part of our whole segment that is going to be for the VBS song that we recorded, right? So you may need to be able to as you see here, line things up. So what do we need to do? We're going to need to go ahead and grab the music. So if you got the sound file, awesome. If you don't, oftentimes I might just yank it straight from YouTube. So let me show you how I do it. All right, so here for the song Your Life Will Change, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy the URL, and then I'm going to head over to a website called SaveTheVideo.com. I'm going to pop it into this little prompt box and click download. You'll notice there's a redirect that pops up. Just close it. It's nothing, right? That's their way of making ad money or whatever. Now you can download the video. You can also download the audio. I used to actually go and download the audio, but it downloads an M4A, and then I would like convert it and do all this other rigmarole. I'm going to show you what I actually do now, where instead of downloading the audio, I just straight download the video, and then I separate it. So to me, this feels faster. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and shut
Thanks
this off
for
here.
watching Lifetree Kids.
There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and save this video, right? Save as, voila, Control S as you saw, right? Great. And I'm going to save it. I normally save all my files into different work folders by week. And so this is going to be the video of that VBS song. Cool. Now it's there. I'm going to need to pop it into Resolve. Okay, so I'm going to look for it and find it in my folder and just literally drag it into the application is one way to do it. You can also do it from within the application. This is just how I normally do it, right? So I pop it into the media bin and then I drag it onto my timeline. See that? Okay. Now here's a tip. Hey, maybe you know this and I was just a slow learner, but you'll see that there's like a little clip there, right? It looks like two connected chains. Okay, if you right click, you can see link clips, and you can actually click there to unlink them. Okay, so when I unlink this, the clips went away. What that means is now the audio and the video is disconnected. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that video right there, right? So I deleted the video. Cool. Now all I've got left is the audio. So that's how I went and did that. Okay, now it's time to actually line this stuff up. So I'm going to drop the audio and then figure out, okay, so oftentimes what I like to do is you can see how the waves line up. All right, so you're going to see this in action. Hopefully I get it right fairly quickly. Sometimes, depending how it looks, it's really easy, and then other times it is a pain. So I'm seeing it. Here we go. So big Q's probably right there. Okay, there's the
Thanks
intro
for
thing.
watching Lifetree Kids.
Okay, so I see that that's where the actual music starts, right at that spot. And so I'm going to be looking for the audio curve, and sometimes that happens. I just press Control Z to not unmess with my stuff, and so now I'm going to go ahead and try to listen and find that spot that I'm looking for where the actual music starts as well, right? So here we go.
Thanks for watching Life Tree
It's
Kids.
going to be that like kind of fatter part right there. Yeah, right there. See? There we go. So cool. So it's almost like what I'd call like the sword hilt, right? You see that kind of like sword hilt shape. So now I'm gonna find it in the same spot over here, where you can kind of see a sword hilt shape there too. Okay, so just move it just a little bit. You can kind of see how it's lining up. See there? Line to line, right there. Yep, and I did it again. So there we go. Beautiful. In retrospect, I probably could have actually zoomed in just a little more to make my life easier, but hey, whatever, glutton for abuse, right? So, okay, great. It's lined up now, and so check this out. We're gonna go ahead and see if this worked right. Not bad. There we go.
From the page to your heart, God's word is where you are.
Yeah,
Read
see?
it now
There
and
you go.
your life will change. It's exciting surprise.
And if you're wondering, there's like kind of like Gaussian blur in the background. Like I actually did that with my Samsung camera settings, so that was kind of a fun experiment I was trying there. Just if you're curious. Okay, so now that we've got that, we can go ahead and we can take and decouple this too, right? So I unlinked the audio from the video, and now I'm gonna link the audio and the video of the final, right? The original VBS song music with the new video here, and link it. Let's do it, right? Uh, I will tell you, um, this made me so happy when I figured out how to do this, because before I was doing this, I would mess up my timelines all the time by not linking stuff together and then trying to move things around, and I do an edit and everything. Yeah, hey, just asterisk caveat here: be careful with ripple deletes. That those uh, can mess with you. All right, so just pay attention to that. But otherwise, pretty straight up. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and you'll see that zooming out here, right? There's let's go ahead and now let me show you what it looks like to do green screen, right? So here I've got the video for the ending of our segment, and here's the background I'm going to want to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this fusion area. There's kind of two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way I do it. Another way is you could actually like do the green screen effect, okay, like ripping out the background, so to speak, and then using the timeline. But yeah, YouTube it. But let me show you how I do it. Okay, so I've got the video here. I clicked into that fusion icon, the magic wand. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is, this is actually insanely powerful. I'm just gonna show you how I use it. All right, a really useful shortcut key is Shift and Spacebar. It saves me so much time. Okay, this is on Windows. I don't know what it is on Mac, but I'm sure it's similar. Right, so Shift spacebar, there's a couple things that you use all the time. We're going to pull out the delta keyer. Okay, you start typing delta. Oh, just kidding. All right, let's go ahead and do that again. You start typing delta, and it'll pop it in. Okay, and grab the dropper. So go ahead and left click on the dropper, and drag it onto your image to where the green is, voila. Okay, it's yanking out the green in the image now, right? Check that out in the video, right? So now there are other spots, these next two areas, where you can be able to fine tune. I'm going to show you some really easy things that get you most of the way. There is like some level 10 kung fu that people do with some of this stuff that I would love to get better at. But on the most part, just tune out the noise at the top and bottom end for the green screen tuning, right, with the thresholds, and it actually comes out pretty clean. So I'll show you what this is about to look like in just a second, okay? So here, now we've got it ready, okay, and you can see that, okay, it's the back is isolated. So that other way that I mentioned to you is if you just drop the background on the timeline, you'd see that it could actually already look correct. And as you saw with just tuning the thresholds just a little bit, it actually created a pretty clean removal of the background, right? Or removal of that green. So I'm going to show you, instead of the timeline way, we're going to purely do this in Fusion, because there's some pretty hip things we can do. Like, for example, I'm going to take the background, I'm going to loop it, okay? So you see I just drop my media into my Fusion work area. Okay, over here you see loop. I'm going to click loop, and it's going to keep that going for as long as this clip lasts. All right, so that's nice. And we're going to want to go ahead and now merge. Okay, so like I said before, press shift and space and it pops in the select tool. You type in merge and you see that it just popped in the merge element for me. And I'm going to drag. This is like connecting, creating circuits, like that type of thing, right? So I'm going to drag and I'm going to pop that into the foreground, as you can see here, okay? And use the other thing in the background input. And then it may, if it sounds complicated, it's really not. You get used to it so fast. You just, with a little practice, you'll get very comfortable with it. Just keep in mind there's a foreground and background, and there's like mask stuff and other, crazy kung fu. I don't really do as much of that type of stuff, but FYI, right? So now, like, let's connect it to the yellow, which is going to shoot the final output out, okay, for us to be able to see. And that's what it's going to look like, what you see in the preview there. Voila, now we see my buddy Kevin there.
But Timmy couldn't help him at first because he didn't have the word in his heart. He didn't know where to share, how to share it with them.
Not bad, huh? Final product complete, right? So that's what it's going to look like with just a little work there with being able to remove the green screen and pop in the background and loop it. You can do all kinds of stuff with kind of reshaping it. Transforms are very powerful too. Something worth looking up that I use on a very regular basis, right? Where you can make a background or foreground bigger, smaller, all of those types of things. Okay, so review again. Use the delta key here. Pull out the green. Go ahead and adjust your thresholds. You can do a couple different things. Clean up the background, foreground is very helpful too. And that those are the biggies that'll get you most of the way when it comes to working with green screen video. Okay, so merge, that's the biggie too. And let's go ahead, and there's one more thing to show you here, right? So let's say I wanted to go ahead and make that transform I was telling you about earlier. So shift space, and now I'm going to type transform. And what I'm going to do is I can actually use this to, I can do a couple things, right? I can change the size. Tiny Kevin. Okay, I can make him bigger. I can really adjust a lot of things. I can shift his position. So you use transform to be able to do this, right? Okay, take him to the right, take him to the right. Okay, right? Nice and easy on the X and Y axis there, right? So, those are the biggies. You master that, you're most of the way there. You could do a lot of stuff. Okay, so with that, that's, you've seen some of the biggies there. There's a lot of cool video transition things you can do to be able to add, like dissolves when you move from clip to clip here. See, like the cross dissolve, the blur dissolve. I really like those. Those are very simple, easy to add. Blows my mind that this application is free, to be honest. So, hopefully this helped. You got questions, hit me up on social media. Let me know. Happy to help where I can. I don't consider myself a super pro at this, but hey, if it can help, happy to get it out there. Thanks, everybody.